खड़े होते हैं। फेसबुक और ट्विटर करीब 11,000 करोड़ सालाना का इनकी कमाई होती है भारत में। तो इसको लेकर के सरकार की क्या नीति है? क्योंकि ये कहा जाता है कि वो अपनी कमाई सही से वो शेयर नहीं करते।
देखिए, आज का विषय सोशल गाइडलाइंस, ओटीटी डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म गाइडलाइन के बारे में है। तो अगर आप इसी पर सवाल केंद्रित करेंगे तो कृपा होगी। बाकी कौन अपना रेवेन्यू कितना शेयर करे, कैसे करे, इसको लेकर दुनिया में बहुत बहस चल रही है। कई जगह उस पर गाइडलाइन बने हैं, वो एक बड़े डिबेट का विषय है।
129.
Sir, I'm Surabhi from the Economic Times. Just want to understand, sir, that will there be another round of consultation on all these guidelines? Because you've not notified it, so how long will it take to notify these guidelines? And like my colleague asked, that none of the news publications have been given an opportunity to actually, comment or consult on these guidelines. So will there be a formal process of consultation which will be done to call all the news publications and get their comments on this code?
Your question is to whom?
Prakash, sir. And also to you, sir, in terms of when we will notify the final guidelines.
मैंने जैसे बताया, OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स 40 एंटिटीज नोन है। उनके साथ 3 बार कंसल्टेशन दिल्ली, चेन्नई, मुंबई में हुआ। 2 बार मैंने दिल्ली में सबको बुलाकर मीटिंग की। जो आज मैं गाइडलाइन ले आया हूं उसका ही उन्हीं को करे खुद, यह हमने आग्रह किया। दुर्भाग्य से 6 महीने में नहीं हुआ और इसलिए अब गाइडलाइन आई है। और कंसल्टेशन कहोगे तो जैसे रवि जी ने कहा, उनका तो गाइडलाइंस वेबसाइट पर रखे ही थे ओपन, और उस पे 177 कमेंट्स भी आए और कोई काउंटर कमेंट भी आए। तो ये कहना कि कंसल्टेशन हुआ ही नहीं, सिर्फ डिजिटल न्यूज पोर्टल का मुद्दा ऐसा है, कौन है और कैसे कौन कौन है ये किसी को पता ही नहीं है। अब जब डिस्क्लोजर होगा और वो जानकारी सब आएगी, तब आपके हमारे दरवाजे आपके लिए खुले हैं।
154.
Just a minute. I would like to add one thing to what Prakash ji said very significantly. When we sit in the government, we have to take into account the concerns of all the stakeholders. That is what Narendra Modi's accountable government is about. Should we keep quiet when a mother starts complaining to us that my daughter is being exposed like this? Should we keep quiet when a small business entrepreneur is sought to be swamped by big business houses based upon falsehood? My department is full of these complaints. So is Prakashji's. Therefore, we have said, no, we will have this mechanism, but you will have to enforce it. We will have a soft touch. That is what this is about. वेट कर लीजिए ना, जैसी होगा आपको मालूम हो जाएगा, जल्दी ही करेंगे।
So my name is Swati Mathur. I'm from the Times of India. My question is to Mr. Prakash Javadekar. Sir, I'm here.
Yeah.
Sir, you referred to the Film Censor Board and you also talked about age-related classification for OTT content. Now, what I want to understand is that you've said that there should be parental locks. Isn't it incumbent on the consumers watching that content to, impose whatever? Here you seem to be, penalizing the OTT digital platforms for not providing,
मैंने जो कहा फिर से कहता हूं, फिल्मों के लिए सेंसर बोर्ड है, टीवी के लिए प्रोग्राम कोड है, ओटीटी के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है। तो प्रोग्राम कोड आएगा जो टीवी वालों को है, सीरियल्स वगैरह सब चलते हैं, और सिनेमा के लिए हम अभी सेंसर बोर्ड उसमें नहीं ला रहे। हम उन पर विश्वास रख के आप क्लासिफाई करो कि 13, 16 प्लस एंड ए फिल्म्स कौन से, और घर में भी देखा जाता है तो घर में बच्चे ये नहीं देखेंगे, इसकी एक सुचारू व्यवस्था वो प्लेटफॉर्म की भी जिम्मेवारी है और घर वालों की भी है।
Number 10.
So how would you categorize, what would be the criteria for significant social media intermediaries? I think, sir, initially in your comments, you also said that significant social media intermediaries will be given 3 months to comply with this. Is there any timeline for OTT as well, sir? Mr. Javadekar, this is a question to both, sir.
The first question is significant social media and non-significant social media would be classified based upon the number of users. Very soon, we are going to notify it. It will be a significant number, maybe 50 lakh or above or something like that. That we are working out, but very soon we are going to notify that. And once significant social media reach is notified, they will be given a 3 months time because they have to have additional obligation. Chief Compliance Officer, Nodal Officer, Grievance Redressal Officers. For others, it will kick in immediately.
47.
Venkatraman, vanakkam.
Yes, vanakkam.
And sir,
Question
what
about the subject, not
Sir-
about Tamil Nadu election.
yeah, I'm related to Tamil Nadu only. I'm going to ask you, what message you want to give it to the people of Tamil Nadu?
I think
But so far, whatever you said in Hindi, you are addressing the only North
Yeah,
Indian media.
no.
But you not bother about taking into consideration Tamil Nadu. Because Ravi Shankar ji had a stake in Tamil Nadu. He was responding in English.
I will
I
respond.
think just please
I will
wait.
respond to you in English. See, the advancement of technology has brought on the fore very useful mechanisms, and like OTT platforms and the digital news portals. But there were no any mechanism, institutional mechanism to guide to the people also, because for films there is censor board, which we are not repeating here in OTT, but there is self-regulation mechanism in TV with program code to be followed. The same thing we are bringing to OTT, and at the same time, for digital news portal, they will have to first give information about their existence, and then they have to follow the press council code that is called Code of Ethics. So this is what we are expecting. We believe in our media, we believe they're responsible, and as I said, we fought and went to jail for 16 months to preserve the freedom of media. But media's freedom is also, has to be responsible freedom. To make it that responsible freedom का ही ये एक mechanism है. This is the mechanism for responsible freedom.
18.
Javadekar Sahab, I just wanted to get a small clarification on the issue of suo motu powers or emergency powers, when government will intervene. How will it play out? What is the mechanism? Who will be the nodal agency? And how do you expect this compliance within 36 hours?
There is, even on today's TV shows and complaints, there is a standard interdepartmental oversight mechanism. So that is already exists.
50.
There are proper provisions under the IT Act to take emergency measures in case of real emergencies. But once those orders are invoked by the IT Secretary or by the INB Secretary, as the case may be, it has to be affirmed by a proper committee, it has to be reviewed, and there is a review mechanism which we have imported that of the telegraph rule, namely headed by the Cabinet Secretary in the Government of India and Chief Secretary in the State Government. Therefore, there are proper safeguards also in case of exercise of emergency powers.
सर नमस्कार, मैं प्रदीप टोटल न्यूज़ से। सर मेरा एक क्लेरिफिकेशन जानना था कि जो ये गाइडलाइन तैयार की गई है, क्योंकि हाल के दिनों में हमने देखा है जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों के आईटी सेल्स होते हैं वो खास तौर से हेट स्पीच चलाते हैं और उसके बाद वो वायरल होते हैं, उसके बाद एक पॉलिटिकल मैसेज जाता है। तो क्या इसमें पॉलिटिकल पार्टी भी इस दायरे में आएगी और उसका क्या गाइडलाइन होगा?
देखिए, मैंने आपको पहले भी कहा था कि अगर देश में करोड़ों लोग सोशल मीडिया को यूज कर रहे हैं तो अपने वो विचारों का भी मैं अपनी पार्टी के भी विचारों का कर सकता हूं, वो भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जो नॉर्म्स है उनका तो पालन करना पड़ेगा ना, कि आप किसी को डिफेम मत करिए, किसी महिला के खिलाफ इस तरह की बातें ना करिए, आप आतंकवाद को ना बढ़ाइए, या कई चीजें जो अब चली हुई हैं, तो इसका विचार करना पड़ेगा। ये सब पर लागू है, कोई पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट हो या नॉन पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट हो।
38.
So, Anushri from Financial Express. My question is to Mr. Javadekar. So, you spoke about the self-regulatory body for OTT, and which will be headed by either a retired Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge. So how many members would this body have, and will it also have representatives from OTT platforms? Because in the previous consultations, the representation was not equal, and it was one of the reasons why the ministry had to, step into for formulation of these guidelines. Also, under what circumstances the ministry will step in case the mechanism or the body fails to, handle a grievance?
We have not taken any additional power in these guidelines. The oversight mechanism, as explained by Ravi Shankar ji, exists and it will exist.
Prakash ji,
To take this.
I want to make very clear to my learned journalist friends that we have not framed any new law or any additional law. Under the existing IT Act mechanism itself, in exercise of Section 87 rule-making power, we have framed these rules and the code of ethics. They should be clearly understood.
40.
Hi, sir. This is Ashish from the Indian Express. I wanted to ask a question that in the case of messages which go viral and finding the originator, it has often been seen that a VPN or a proxy network is used by the perpetrators. So who would be held liable in such a case? The social media intermediary or VPN?
Well, Ashish ji, these are academic questions. As I said in the very beginning, as Prakash ji said, we are trusting the platforms to be accountable in terms of these regulations. We are trusting self-regulations. And once they will go through all the norms, which will be very much put on the platform, they need to improve their mechanism, whether it is grievance redressal or verification or classification of the curated content. तो हम तो उनको ट्रस्ट कर रहे हैं. इस बात को प्लीज सारे मित्र समझें कि the focus of this guideline, whether in the case of social media or in case of creative content, is on self-regulation. You develop, this is the norm, please ensure it followed up.
Last question, 15.
Sir, you spoke about press council norms for websites, sir. Sir, there has been a long demand to increase the ambit of the press council. As a follow-up, is there a plan to do so? Secondly, sir, I also wanted to ask that internet is a global entity. You may set the norms for Indian websites. Have you thought of kind of the same kind of norms could be floated by websites based abroad? So is there any thinking on that?
See, it's a different topic whether the Press Council Act will be expanded or given teeth. It's a continuous discussion. Let's see what happens.
जहाँ तक आपका सवाल है, I do acknowledge, internet is a fine creation of human mind. But if internet is a global phenomena, it must have linkage to the local ideas, local culture, local customs, and most important, local laws, our constitution and laws of India. अब ऐसा तो नहीं चलेगा ना कि आप अमेरिका में बैठ के आपकी चीज यहाँ दिखाएंगे और यहाँ के ग्रीवांस का रिड्रेसल नहीं होगा, यहाँ के एब्यूज चलता रहेगा, मिसयूज चलता रहेगा, ये हमारी अपेक्षा होगी.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, friends.
Thank you. क्या है? बुक ये आईटी एक्ट है. ये प्रेस रिलीज है, ये बुक है. चलो हो गया. लो प्रकाश जी खड़े हो जाओ. देखो ठीक है. ये आईटी एक्ट है, ये प्रेस स्टेटमेंट है. चलो. थैंक यू.